ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन राधे गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। हरे कृष्णा to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you so much Anadi Jagannath Prabhu for this opportunity to speak about Srila Guru Maharaj. And this is a beautiful occasion. This is the 50th sannyas year of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Gurudev. Sannyasa means some, means total. Ni means no, na, naiti, na. Asha, like we know from our scriptures, asha means desires. Sannyasa means completely renouncing all kinds of desires, and that is sannyasa. Sannyasa, giving up everything. Why I am saying this is because many of us don't know the glories of sannyasa, and a personality who had crossed 50 years in sannyas ashram, and this is not going to happen again. To my understanding, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Gurudev is going to be the last person in this list unless a miraculous blessed one takes birth in this material world. It is not going to happen again because in an average, if you consider somebody is going to live 80 years, unless he takes sannyas by the age of 30, he is not going to celebrate 50 years of sannyasa. And hereafter, in ISKCON and even in many other sampradayas, unless a person crosses 40, 45 or 50 years old, they are not going to award sannyas. So in that case, he has to live for 100 years. That is simply by the understanding of age. And in Kali Yuga, being a sannyasi is not an easier thing. Somewhere Srila Prabhupada has written, if a person takes sannyas, his going back to Godhead is 75% guaranteed. And that is not going to happen in future. Very, very difficult. We know ourselves personally, controlling anger, controlling, desires. We struggle. So celebrating 50 years of sannyas is an amazing, it's history actually. It is history. And especially a person like His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. If we start noting what this personality has achieved in 50 years of sannyas, we can write volumes and volumes of books. We can't measure. It is like a man trying to measure an ocean. Impossible. Even many, many glories are not revealed to his followers and disciples. So much, so much. And somewhere Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, sannyas means a warrior also. And that's a very apt explanation for Gurudev. Definitely he is a warrior. Warrior means it is not going to carry sword and shield and go inside a battlefield. He has declared war against Maya. A huge current of water waves are striking, and people are sucked in that heavy waves, and they are all taken. And Guru Maharaj is a person swimming against the current and saving one by one, and going ahead. It is I don't know how many of us understand the depth of being a guru and a sannyasi. Delivering a person. I will tell you one explanation from Skanda Puran. We were all standing in queue in Pitruloka, where Aryama is the ruler. Yama is the ruler of Yamaloka. Aryama is the ruler of Pitruloka. And we were all standing in queue waiting for a human body. And we were waiting for millions of celestial years, not one or two, not human years. Millions of celestial years we were waiting in a queue, and one couple whose karma matches with us, they became our parents. So Skanda Puran says, you can never repay the debt of your parents, because they deliver us from one lifetime. If we can't repay the debt of our parents who deliver us for one lifetime, how are we going to repay the debt of spiritual master who is delivering us from the birth, death, whole cycle? We can never repay, we can never think about it. And you should read the book Spiritual Master and Disciples. Many of you would have read, where Prabhupada explains the glories of a spiritual master. And we have got a very, very special person as a spiritual master. And Prabhupada has given so many beautiful instructions to His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Gurudev. Recently, some couple of years back, Guru Maharaj himself listed it out and sent it across. There are something like 60 plus mighty tasks of accepting 50,000 disciples to offering a rose flower in a day. You know, there are very small things like Prabhupada said. It seems Guru Maharaj gave a rose flower once to Prabhupada in the initial days when Guru Maharaj joined. You know, so Prabhupada took that rose flower and very deeply smelt it, and Prabhupada said, "This will extend my lifetime." You know, Prabhupada very, very lightly said, "This will extend my lifetime." And Guru Maharaj, you know, became very attracted to that thing, and he understood Prabhupada likes rose flower. So from that day, he will run around, somehow locate a rose flower and offer it to Prabhupada. And Guru Maharaj very strictly following this principle for years and years together. Put ourselves in that situation. We may do it for a week, maybe like a few more days, and definitely we are going to drop it. But Guru Maharaj, till his health was doing very good, this is a very, it's a very insignificant instruction of Prabhupada, saying that when you compare with the instructions of distribute my big books, build temples, preach, when you compare with those instructions, offering a rose flower is a very insignificant thing. But you know, how Guru Maharaj has given so much importance for tiny, tiny instructions of Srila Prabhupada and carried it out. That shows how much a person is committed to his spiritual master. Very, very personally he has taken it up, you know. And in that list I saw one of the orders, like, you know, offering a flower to Srila Prabhupada. And Guru Maharaj very, very sincerely took up this, and he was doing it throughout, offering a flower to Srila Prabhupada. And another time I saw, many, many years back in Vrindavan, we were all standing there and Guru Maharaj came, and in front of every altar, you know, in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple, you have Gaur-Nita, in the middle you have Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, on the right side you have, Radha Shyam Sundar Ji. So everywhere Guru Maharaj was taking darshan, and he was dropping some dakshina, you know. So when he came to the third altar, Guru Maharaj didn't had, small changes. So he was asking his disciples, and he was dropping small things. But Guru Maharaj said, you know, when we asked, it's okay, why, is there anything important? Guru Maharaj said, we should never go empty-handed in front of a deity. And Prabhupada said, if you don't have anything to offer, you offer some dakshina. And Guru Maharaj is doing small instructions, whatever Prabhupada gave, Guru Maharaj very sincerely following. And this list with the 60 plus had major instructions like distributing prasad. And you all know Guru Maharaj going to airports, traveling, he will never go without prasad. I remember in those days, in the airport, he will be going around reaching out people who are standing in the queue, he reaching out and distributing prasad to everyone. Always carrying prasad, distributing prasad. So these are all in Prabhupada's list, like distributing. Prabhupada has given something like, I don't exactly remember, some huge figure that you should distribute so many books every year. Something like thousands and thousands of, Prabhupada has given, huge number of big books, huge number of small books that you should distribute. And Guru Maharaj is doing that very sincerely, distributing a heavy number of big books and small books every month through his temples, through his disciples, and through Mayapur. So if you get chance, please go through that list, that 60 plus orders what Prabhupada gave Guru Maharaj. Amazing, amazing. And Guru Maharaj is carrying it out. And one of the mightiest tasks is preach unlimitedly, initiate 50,000 disciples. This is a history in Parampara. Prabhupada himself initiated 5,000 plus devotees. But Prabhupada told Guru Maharaj, please initiate 50,000 disciples, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had 50,000 disciples. Ramanujacharya had 10,000 disciples. Shankaracharya had 50,000 disciples. So this, it's not normal. Very, very celebrated, special personality in history had got so many thousands of disciples. And in this condition, Guru Maharaj is amazingly taking up. And earlier days, Guru Maharaj is from a very rich family. Very, very rich family. You can say top 10, top 50, top 100 rich families. He's from one of them. And his grandfather was holding a big paint company with hundreds of outlets, very big company, very big company. And Guru Maharaj's elder brother was not so smart like Guru Maharaj, so they all expected Guru Maharaj will be, taking care of that paint company. From a very rich family. Somebody, in India, especially if you go to Haridwar, you can see many sannyasis. Many sannyasis you can see in Haridwar. If you check them personally, 99% of them had taken sannyas. Actually, they were not able to maintain their family. They were in deep debt or something, or they murdered somebody or did some nonsense and then ran away. This is how most of the sannyasis are in Haridwar. But being a person from such a royal family, rich family, giving up everything at the age of 18, imagine. I am sure there is no one here in this satsang who is less than, 20. Most of you, I just went through, all of you are elderly people, at least 30 plus, 40 plus. Maybe a couple of you are there, less than 20. Guru Maharaj took sannyas at the age of 19. Can you imagine? 19, he took sannyas, that too from such a rich background. And the first flight he took to India, Prabhupada told Guru Maharaj, you go to India and help. There was one Maharaj called Achyutananda Swami. So go to Calcutta and help Achyutananda Swami. And Guru Maharaj ran to his temple president asking for money. So temple president was not very happy because he's giving away one more devotee from his team. So he was little unhappy, One of my team member is leaving. So he was little not very happy. Somehow he didn't sanction the flight ticket. It is like we tell you go to US and don't pay you money, how you will go? So Guru Maharaj was allowed a very meager money, which you can't take a flight. So Guru Maharaj, chartered, it's like 3-4 days flight going up and down and, choosing the cheapest flight. And even now he is practicing the same thing. is very expert in scheduling his travels. He took the cheapest flight, and I don't know, 3 or 4 days after that he came to Calcutta from US. Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj once said, after Prabhupada attained Samadhi, Guru Maharaj became a guru. The first international travel Guru Maharaj is taking, and Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj happened to assist him. So Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said, I was like very thrilled, I was very happy because I'm going, the first international tour, and I saw the schedule. It is like going to Tokyo, going to Canada, going to US, and Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was like very thrilled and happy and, had dreams of going. Then he said, in the travel, I felt so many times I shouldn't have taken that trip. Because somewhere in Tokyo, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said, Guru Maharaj walked and took trains, at least changed some 10, 12 trains and went to a location because he didn't want to spend money on taxi. And he had huge luggages. And Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said he was a very thin person at that time. Even now he's a very thin person. Imagine how Maharaj would have been in his younger days. He was not able, he's supposed to be the assistant helping Guru Maharaj. But he was not able to carry even his own luggage and move around. At some places, Guru Maharaj had to help him. He was telling this, actually he became my assistant instead of me becoming his assistant. So Guru Maharaj saved so much money, even today he does that. From being a very rich family. And he has done everything in Mayapur, what not, you name it. Riding bicycles for 40 plus kilometers to buy building materials because doesn't want to pay money for rickshaw or bus. 40 plus kilometers, not 1 or 2, 40 plus kilometers up and down many times. And procuring materials for construction. Once he sat on the truck where all the iron cement, he will sit on the truck because even now that route from Calcutta to Mayapur, one of the riskiest route in the whole creation. Very dangerous route, and so many accidents happen even today. The route between Mayapur to Calcutta. And in those days, people will steal all the things from the trucks. So Guru Maharaj used to sit on top of the luggage load so that people don't steal and come. He has done plowing the field. You won't imagine. He has cleaned the septic tank in Mayapur. How many of us have done this? There must be like 100 plus in this satsang now. How many of us have done this? I'm sure none of us. Guru Maharaj has cleaned. See, the real service, many of our services are very artificial. Guru Maharaj has done. That's what I said. We can write volumes and volumes of books on what Guru Maharaj has done. Very, very special things he has done. Like Lord Chaitanya told his main disciples, Goswamis, you should establish the places in Vrindavan. Anadi Jagannath Prabhu, am I doing the right thing? Like you have, this is what you expect? Yeah, okay. Thank you, because I don't know. Yeah, thank you. So, like Lord Chaitanya gave some special instructions to the Goswamis of recovering the lost places of Vrindavan. Till Lord Chaitanya went to Vrindavan, people knew Krishna is from Vrindavan, Leela's in Vrindavan, but they don't know exactly where is Radha Kund, where is Shyam Kund, where is Nidhivan, where is Seva Kunj. Everything was disappeared in the last 4,000 plus years. So one of the main instructions given by Lord Chaitanya to the Goswamis were like recovering the lost places. And nobody knows how many Lord Chaitanya's Leela Sthalis were recovered by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Bangladesh. So many places, you name it, Advaita Acharya's house, Srivas Thakur's house, Sridhara's house, Kolavecha Sridhara's house, Rupa, every year they are acquiring more. These are all history. We should be proud that we are like a disciple of such a person. I am sure now we don't know. If I can get a, time traveling machine, what you see in the modern movies, we can go back, after some 200, 300 years, there will be people glorifying Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev in this world like we glorify Jesus Christ and Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya. This is going to happen. I'm not saying only Guru Maharaj, all the wonderful, special, chosen disciples of Srila Prabhupada. There are many. If we see like what will happen after 300, 400 years, history will remember Srila Prabhupada and his warrior disciples. They will be glorified like we glorify Jesus Christ now. Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, many acharyas in Sampradaya. People will be studying about them, glorifying about them. So many places he has recovered. And each place was not easy. Somebody gave in a golden platter. Oh, Jayapataka Swami, please take. Nothing like that. Every stali which they have recovered has a war. They had waged a war to get that. It's not easy. Like you go to Udupi. Imagine you are going to Tirupati or Udupi and tell the main person, oh, please give this Udupi temple to us. Do you think they will give? Many places. In Jagannath Puri, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's house is with ISKCON now. Amazing. Where Bhakti Vinod Thakur sat down and did bhajan. If you go and ask the Prabhuji, I forgot his name, Gaur Nitai Prabhu or somebody, Nitai Gaur Prabhu, the temple president, he will tell you for hours and hours how they fought, how they struggled to get Bhakti Vinod Thakur's bhajan placed, for ISKCON. So many places all over Bengal, Bangladesh. Now ISKCON is acquiring each and every place. And building monuments. Because one of the instruction which Prabhupada gave was to bring all the different sects of Gaudiya Vaishnavas in Bengal and bring them united. And Guru Maharaj has formed a committee and doing it. Nobody knew all. We don't know what is going on there. In Mayapur, they have a committee, they meet regularly, all the sannyasis from different sects, different Gauda, Saraswata Gaudiya, that Gaudiya Math, this Gaudiya Math, and they all trying to become together. There's a whole mission going on, and we don't know about all those things. Bring so many instructions Prabhupada gave. And we are also connected in one small pastime, in a tiny mustard way. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has wished that Lord Chaitanya's lotus footprints must be installed in all the glorious places where Lord Chaitanya travelled. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur personally installed in Dwaraka, Jagannath Puri, in Srirangam in Tamil Nadu, all these places. After that, nobody did that. Then His Holiness His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Gurudev continued that mission of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur by installing Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet in Trivandrum Sri Ananta Padmanabha Swami temple. We were shocked. The king of Travancore, in his puja room, he had so many gurus' picture. They are like traditional religious people. They have all kinds of guru. In that whole big list, he had Jayapataka Swami Gurudev's picture also, the king, in his puja room. And he said, I meet Swamiji here and there in the plains, and I always meditate on him every day. So when we met the king and said, this is the desire of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, that Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet should be installed in Ananta Padmanabh temple, one of the Divya Desham. Not very easy. Immediately the king said yes and gave a main spot in the eastern entrance. And Guru Maharaj continued the mission of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Amazing. You can take, you can write volumes how Guru Maharaj has done seva in different fields. And we should definitely discuss about Bangladesh. We shouldn't miss it. Because there is no country in this world like Bangladesh. Because somewhere Prabhupada told His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj that if somebody preaches in Bengali, they will get 100 times more mercy. This message is not very popular. Prabhupada said this because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose that language. So if somebody preaches in Bengali, they will get, actually this was not spoken directly by Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj read this thing somewhere, and he asked Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada agreed to it. If somebody preaches in Bengali, they will get blessings. They will get 100 times more blessings. So, Guru Maharaj started learning Bengali and preaching in both Bengal and Bangladesh. Bangladesh, today it has got, 72 ISKCON temples, 4,000 Namahatas, and nobody knows how many devotees are there. Quite few lakhs. Nobody knows the exact data. How many devotees are there in Bangladesh? Quite few lakhs. 4,000. You take the size of Bangladesh, it is smaller than any state in India. I think it must be smaller than Andhra Pradesh or something. One state, that is all is Bangladesh. 72 ISKCON temples and 4,000 Namahatas and lakhs of devotees, all because of one Vaishnava marched there for last 30 years. One single Vaishnava. Many devotees were helping, but still, Guru Maharaj did an amazing thing in Bangladesh. And Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said, when initial days Guru Maharaj was going to Bangladesh, sometimes he has slept in cattle shed, because that was the only proper place a Grahastha had. He had one-room house, a tiny one-room house, and he was the preacher in that area. He didn't have a facility. And the only facility he had was his cattle shed, and that is not the place where they tie their cattle, cows. That's a place where they tie their goats. And within hours, he cleaned the shed, and he gave, and Guru Maharaj slept in the goat shed. Happily. When we read Bhagavad Gita, Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni, Trinadapi Suni Chena, we simply by heart and repeat like parrot, that's all. But this personality is living those principles. He has slept in a goat shed. Once when Guru Maharaj went there, he will go from one village to another village doing programs. And Bangladesh, nothing less than 25,000 people. We preach to 10 people and we become very proud. Oh, today I did a program, 12 people came. His programs minimum 25,000 people in Bangladesh. And per day he will do 3 programs, 4 programs. If Brahma can stretch this 24 hours into 48 hours, he will do all the programs throughout those 48 hours also. So one place he reached, it was like midnight, 2 o'clock. And Guru Maharaj was damn tired. And secretaries already mentally decided, okay, we are going to crash down to bed. And they entered the village. Something like 10,000 people were waiting at midnight, 2 o'clock for the arrival of Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj gave 1.5 hour session. Started at 2 o'clock midnight. And after that, blessing people. It went on till Mangalarti. Then he went and slept at 4 o'clock. Then when Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said that, we were like, really? Then Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj said, no, this is not just happens once a week in Bangladesh with Guru Maharaj. We can't do this. We don't know whether this person actually belongs to this mortal material world. Definitely from a different planet. And Bangladesh today has lakhs and lakhs of devotees and thousands of disciples, all in a Muslim country. That also we should understand. All that in a Muslim country. Krishna, the statement of Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Out of 1,000, one will reach me. This verse has manifested in Bangladesh. It has got 16 crore is the population of Bangladesh, and 1.2 or 1.5 crore is the Hindu population, and definitely 1 by 1,000 has become ISKCON devotees. Imagine what a massive mammoth preaching would have taken place there in Bangladesh. And their prasad and their kirtans, it is completely different. We can't understand their prasad and kirtan and all these things. Full different mood. So Bangladesh, if at all devotees, now there are some issues going on, but once it is settled, please visit. If you want to understand the glories of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Gurudev, visit Bangladesh once. You should see what is the reception a Vaishnava will get. What is the mood of Vaishnavas? You will simply see that Narottam Das Thakur's songs are manifesting right in front of you. And there were not much devotees before 1970s. It's all happened. 99% of the effort was put by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Gurudev. And now Guru Maharaj's health condition. 50 to 60% of his bodily limbs doesn't function. 50 to 60%. If we were in that situation, we would have been depressed. Even for within a week, I saw a devotee. Suddenly, he got a news, he became corona positive. That's all. He started crying, he became so upset, and young man, very upset and depressed. Then we were calling him every now and then and trying to encourage him. A personality whose body doesn't function, major transplantations have taken this thing. It is very simple to understand how much that body will give pain. It is very simple but have you ever felt when you meet Guru Maharaj that he's going through all these things? He will smile and raise his arms and say, Hari Bol, hug you. How are you? How is your wife? How is your kid? How is your business? How is your preaching? We are supposed to ask him, Guru Maharaj, how is your health? Is it okay? Are you comfortable? Are you experiencing any pain? What can I do to please you? But what we do? Prabhuji, Guru Maharaj, I have this problem, that problem. A man, a personality with such a health situation, I am sure you will never feel when you are talking to him, you are talking to a person who is taking medical treatment. You will never feel it. He will crack jokes. He will make you comfortable. He will ask you questions. He will counsel you. He will sacrifice his sleep, because in this condition, I tell you, if the person walks for 1 hour, he will become damn tired. That is how his body is. But we will never realize it. And Mahavara Prabhu told, after this transplantation of kidney and liver, 3rd day or 4th day, hardly Guru Maharaj has regained his consciousness. This Mahavara Prabhu said. Hardly he has regained his consciousness. He couldn't speak. There are some 10-12 tubes on his body, neck and mouth and private parts and stomach, everywhere. Hardly he could communicate. So they have a system of touching the alphabets and communicating. And Guru Maharaj called, and this assistants, Mahavara, they all went inside, Prabhuji and all. He physically, it seems, took 20 minutes touching the alphabets and communicating and telling them, please give mantra card and clicker to the nurse in that room. Was that necessary at that point? Was that necessary? 20 minutes trained to communicate and said, please give these things. In this last 2-3 years, once I met Guru Maharaj, and very happily he said, I traveled all over and I went to so many hospitals, and all the nurses, they are all from Kerala. All the nurses are from Kerala. You go to US, UK, you go to any country, the nurses are from Kerala, and they're all Christians. And then when I preached to them, he spoke to me 1 hour in the car park. He is supposed to get down and go for a program. In the car park, he put down the window and I'm standing outside. He was so telling that all this from Kerala, they're Christians, still they accepted. I distributed. He gave numbers like, 120 clickers I distributed, and he was going so enthused. And he said, it's possible to preach to Christians. So many things in hospitals. The hospital Leela itself, you can write another book that can be inspiration. Because people in this situation, they will either retire or they will become morose and depressed. But this personality on the wheelchair, inspiring thousands and thousands of people, and I am sure he works more than all of us. He works in this even today. If you simply call any assistant in Mayapur and ask them what Guru Maharaj did from morning to night, now I think it's 9 o'clock, what Guru Maharaj was doing today whole day, and just today you compare, he would have worked 10 times more than us. One senior disciple said this, Prabhupada proved old age is not a hindrance in devotional service. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj proved disease is not a hindrance in devotional service. For us, one tiny toothache is enough. So many things in the hospital that can go on for, hours. And miracles, so many. Like Tamal Krishna Maharaj once said, I think Guru Maharaj's 30th or 25th year, something like that. Tamal Krishna Maharaj once said, I was doing Dandavat Parikrama in the holy Dham in Mayapur. I'm not sure where the place is. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj was doing Dandavat. It is a kind of austerity. Dandavat Parikrama, paying obeisances and getting and paying and all like that. So he asked somewhere where Jayapataka, I'm sure this happened in Mayapur only. Where Jayapataka Maharaj is. So somebody said he has flew to some country for a program in the morning. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked the same question second time. Then they said he moved to another country for some other program. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, I completed my Dandavat Parikrama one full day, very tired, and came and slept. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj traveled to 3 countries, preached everything, and next day morning he was there active and fresh back in Mayapur. So this is spoken by Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. All great sannyasis have said, that what Guru Maharaj was, is and things like that. And miracles, Sachinandan Maharaj said this. When Guru Maharaj was, that when this thing happened, he was, I think, 3 months or something in coma. So Sachinandan Maharaj said, Maharaj, when you were in hospital, in Bhaktivedanta Hospital, Mumbai, I came twice and met you. At that time, Guru Maharaj was hardly speaking. So Guru Maharaj said, no, thrice. And Sachinandan Maharaj was taken back. Guru Maharaj was in coma, for 3 months. And he woke up and he said, corrected Sachinandan Maharaj. Sachinandan Maharaj said, I came twice. Guru Maharaj said, no, you came thrice. The next day he said to his disciples, why nobody told me that Barack Obama became the president of United States? Barack Obama became the president of United States when Guru Maharaj was in coma. And devotees were like shocked. How Guru Maharaj knew that? Do you think in coma he is going to sit and read newspapers or watching television? Certain leelas, please don't discuss these things in public, but then, because you are all disciples and followers, very clearly proves we are fortunate to meet this personality in this lifetime. These are not normal things. And Guru Maharaj was speaking to a group of Russians in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And after that, slowly Guru was getting cured and people were coming. So one devotee asked Guru Maharaj, what was your experience at the time of coma? 3 months, what was your experience? Then Guru Maharaj said, I was traveling and preaching in the 3 months coma. That's what he answered. I traveled to US and all. Then Guru Maharaj said, Srila Prabhupada appeared to me and gave special instructions. Then the Russians asked, what is that? Then Guru Maharaj said, no, that's confidential. What kind of leela is this? And once another devotee asked Guru Maharaj that, is it true that you were an associate of Lord Chaitanya? Guru Maharaj smiled and said, that's an open secret, he said. These are some of the things which a devotee disciple should preserve in his heart. I don't know what qualifications we had to have this great Mahatma as our spiritual master. What qualification? If you really analyze and examine ourselves, I'm sure we don't have any qualification. It is simply mercy. That too, huge mercy on all of us, that we became disciples of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. And many devotees have this question, why Guru Maharaj have to go through this? If we are going through test, then it is for our purification. If Guru Maharaj is going through test, it is his glorification. That's what I said in the beginning. In another few hundred years, the whole world is going to talk about it. Then I say Jesus Christ. What picture comes in your mind? The picture comes in our mind is He was crucified on the cross. The pain He has taken to deliver the world. That's the picture which comes. And when we say Prahalad, what picture comes? Hiranyakashipu torturing and Nrsimhadev coming. They are not suffering their karma. They simply went through this so that the world will register this. And this will become history. And people are going to speak about this in the future. After 300 years, 400 years, 500 years. So, the only request is, Guru Maharaj got this instruction from Srila Prabhupada, preach unlimitedly. So please, dear devotees, simply follow chanting 16 rounds sincerely. Never give up this promise what you have given to spiritual master. Please, don't dilute it and don't give it up, and follow the regulative principles and take part in this preaching movement in whatever way you can. This will please your spiritual master, and this will make us the worthy disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Srila Gurudev. And we are very fortunate to have this great personality as our spiritual master. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, and thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Hare Krishna.